I've been joined by Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Ibrahim Murtala. Mohammed, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm managing. I think everybody manages.
You are managing?
Except those who live within the four walls of the Flagstaff.
But you're a Member of Parliament. How are you managing?
Well, I am concerned about my constituents and the fact that everybody is struggling to survive in this country. It is appropriate for us to just manage. You can live a decent life in Ghana under President Nana Addo and Dr. Bawumia. I mean, if you do live a better life, I wouldn't know. Because looking at the rate at which the inflation is rising, you know, fuel prices are escalating, the city is, the dollar has become a fugitive. Man, you when Dr. Bawumia told us that he had arrested it and gave the key to the IGP, nothing seemed to be working because you have a bunch of corrupt individuals who are managing the affairs of this country. And don't take my words. Take the words of the CDD, the Afrobarometer. Take the words of the Corruption Perception Index. I mean, President Mohammed's lowest is what they are celebrating today. We are now spending $3 billion in the importation of rice and poultry products in this country when we're spending just $500 million under the NDC. Tell me what is working correctly in this government.
Interesting. Well, but let's talk about Parliament yesterday. I mean, for some people, it was a spectacle. Now, the MPP caucus says that you basically are trying to stampede government business. You are not making government business progress.
I mean, sometimes when I listen to our colleagues, I just say, God forgive them. Because frankly speaking, the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana enjoins us to do everything possible, even the use of violence means, to defend the Constitution and the democratic processes we are practicing in this country. What has occasioned all this? Because you have one party, in this case, the NDC majority, which is demanding things be done rightly, and the MPP minority, which is demanding that things be done through their Takashi way. And for me, that is the shocking aspect of it. You remember on Thursday, long before the Speaker gave his ruling in the matter of the 4 affected members of Parliament, Afenyo Markins had already gone to court. So I was wondering, on what basis did the court even give him a hearing? That the Speaker hadn't made any pronouncement on these 4 members of Parliament, yet he went to court.
Well, I spoke to him, and he said that he had picked indication from your side that you were going to trigger this. So he went to court based on that.
So and the court granted that. Then God save this country. So if I'm having an argument with you, and I suspect that you will slap me, then I quickly run to court, saying that I'm suing this person for assault, and the assault hadn't taken place, because I suspect that I will be assaulted. It's ridiculous. And another even very important point which many people are glossing over, and I expect the media to be interested in this. You remember we approved the vote and proceedings of last Thursday, yesterday?
Yes.
Now, what happens in Parliament? When you have proceedings in Parliament, you approve the proceedings, adopt and approved the next day or the next sitting. Now, until the approval is done and adopted, it cannot be deemed to be an official document from Parliament. Afenyo Markins went to court on the basis of what happened last week, Thursday, on something that had not been adopted by Parliament. Shockingly, whether he deceived the Supreme Court or the Supreme Court failed to do due diligence. Man, when we were approving the vote and proceedings of last Thursday, there were 2 or 3 major amendments in that document. And that is why when you come after the prayer, the Speaker, the first action the Speaker takes is to approve and adopt the vote and proceedings. And the Speaker will say page 1, page 2, page 3. Now, if Afenyo Markins went to court using evidence that was not official, purporting to be coming from Parliament, that was even a deceit of court. And I am shocked that the Supreme Court gave him a listening ear. So the argument that is being made, that the Supreme Court had made a ruling and that Parliament is unwilling, or the majority side is unwilling to respect that ruling, for me is shocking. Another very important point. If you read Article 9 of the NPP's own manifesto, it states very clearly that if any member of the NPP or a member of Parliament contests as an independent member of Parliament against any MPP member, such a person automatically forfeits.
Automatic forfeiture.
Forfeits his membership. His membership. So as we see today, NPP, those members are not MPP members. And Afenyo Markins' argument is that they went to court and argued on the basis of natural justice, that people must be given fair hearing. When we raise the question that the natural justice and the demand of same should be done by the affected persons. They argue by saying that, oh, it has a bearing on us because they are members of our party. When in actual fact, by the party's own constitution, they are no longer members of the NPP.
Interesting. So you're not frustrating government business?
Why should
Because now they've triggered a recall of Parliament.
Why should we frustrate government business? But let's look at even the items they want us to come and look at. That $350 million tax exemption is a fraud, robbery, thievery. This is a country that goes in. We are begging $100 million loan. Yet we are giving $350 million tax exemption to foreign companies. Does it make sense? So those people who would have paid the money anyway, those companies would have paid $350 million to Ghana. Government of Ghana says, no, don't pay. We'll give it to you free. But we are going begging for $100 million because there are friends, family members behind those things. You read the 1D1F document. Why? It is, the policy position is very clear. For any company to benefit from the tax exemption under the 1D1F, that company must show proof of jobs they will be creating as a result of what you are giving them. They haven't even shown that.
They've not shown the evidence.
Two. I mean, the other one, they want to hoodwink Ghanaians into believing, oh no, it is about the galamsey. You don't need those laws to prevent galamsey. We have enough laws in this country.
Right.
What you need to stop the galamsey is the political will. And within President Nanodo, Dr. Bome, and the entirety of the NPP, political will has taken a sabbatical leave.
You're not seeing political will at work in the fight against galamsey?
This is the president who told everybody that he's putting his presidency online. That man doesn't have principles. He doesn't have honor. If he had, he would have resigned.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we've also been told clearly from the NPP, they have mentioned today, for instance, Richard Ahiagba, the Director of Communication, he says that he cited a document.
You take that, gentleman.
And he says the document shows that what is happening now is part of a plan, a grand plan to rig the 2024 elections by the NDC.
See, there's a saying.
But you know what? Let's go and take a listen to Richard Ahiagba. We'll come back and get a response from you on that.
So I want to read from the document analyzing the 2020 election laws. One of the key, this is the NDC document, the subtitle is Failure of Result Coalition System. One of the reasons for the NDC's loss in the 2020 election was that the party failed to implement a robust system for collating election results across the country. Effective collation and monitoring and results collation are critical in the electoral process, especially in a closely contested election like that of the 2020. Now,
so that is Richard Ahiagba, the Director of Communications for the NPP. He says the NDC, your party, wants to rig the 2024 elections, and so you are disrupting parliamentary processes, and this is part of a grand scheme. In fact, there's a document from 2021 that is yet to make available to us. Is that the case? Are you trying to rig the election?
You know, clowns are in short supply these days, but you can find many in the NPP. You see, when the chief comes home with weird haircut, what do you expect his subjects to do? They come home with topejo. You know topejo? Those of us who don't have hair, we can't even have topejo. Topejo, when we were kids, they do that. Why? I thought the clownish in terms of political communication was demonstrated by only Dr. Bawumia. When he made that statement, journalists demanded to have a copy. Of the document. He said, I won't give you. How? Wouldn't that be damaging to NDC the more? If indeed the NDC had a secret document, for which reason you saw the need to go publicly and say that the NDC had a secret document, you would want even Ghanaians to have it. Right. So that it exposed the NDC the more.
So you believe there's no truth in what Richard Ahiagba is saying?
Do you take that gentleman serious?
But he's the Director of Communications for the governing New Patriotic Party.
I'm saying that Dr. Bawumia himself, do you take him serious?
He's the Vice President.
But he's been lying.
We need to take the Vice President serious.
Look, my senior brother was right, ABA. When he says that when Dr. Bawumia greets you good afternoon, don't just respond. Look at the position of the sun, or you check your watch before you respond. Do you take them serious? I've just asked you. Right. You think that it is so dangerous for our democracy. You want to damage the NDC. Journalists demand that, can you give us a copy? What responsible political parties do? He would have made even photocopies of that document. Right. And then he says, I won't give you that copy. You see, it is just an attempt. One thing I can tell you.
Briefly.
As far as we are concerned, the NDC is majority. There is no denying that fact.
Okay.
And when they recall, and another point I don't want to forget.
Briefly.
On the recall, the standing orders and the Constitution, the Constitution are all very clear. That the Speaker would be given about 1 week.
1 week, 7 days.
So the Speaker, and they are now saying that within the 1 week, the Speaker should receive it and call us to come back within 1 week. What nonsense.
It doesn't work.
Look, I'm saying that but for the interaction and engagement I had with your radio station and this one, I would have been in my constituency. Right. Now, you are now telling the Speaker that, yes, you have to use 1 week. What the Speaker will do, 1 week, then the Speaker would have to give members of Parliament the time.
Okay.
Because
so
a lot of us...
It's not possible. What they're asking for is
it's
not
possible. A lot of
Very
us
well.
would... And in any case,
right.
when
Briefly,
we come to the chamber, we will sit on the majority side.
You still sit on the right-hand side of Speaker?
We are the majority.
Very well. Well, Tamale Central MP Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed speaking to us there.